Alright guys, welcome back to the channel once again, and today we're gonna talk about the Zapier integration. Let's suppose you have an app and you want to integrate that app into the Zapier, that your app user can also come to the Zapier and they can integrate the Zapier with your app, like they want to use those feature as a trigger or action into the Zapier so they can use it easily. So let me just create a Zapier integration and I'll show you how to create authentication, trigger and actions. So I'm just going to put test 1.0 and just write some description. This is test 1.0. Okay. So this part is optional, like homepage URL. When you are making the integration for your production, so then you need to connect this. Otherwise, leave it as it is. So we need to assign the intended audience. So I'm just going to make it private right now. You can make it public when you make this for production. So I'm just, yeah, I have no average test 1.1 category, anything. You can select anything over here and just save it. Okay, so here we go. Our app has been integrated right now. Now we have to set up the authentication. Then we will be able to set up the triggers and actions. So you can see all the documentation are written by the Zapier over here, and you can see how you can. So there are several type of authentication like Auth and API key. If you want to make your user authenticated with their API key, so you can also provide into your app and they can put over here and they can get authenticated. Otherwise you can put the session auth, like session authentication that people create, so that kind of thing as well. And normally people do basic authentication or auth authentication and API key authentication. So we are going to try this basic auth, and later I will tell you about the API auth. So let's go. So you can also see over here the basic authentication is given by the GitHub account. So you need to put your username of GitHub and access token of GitHub, like GitHub provide into the developer setting access token. So you can put it over here and you will put it continue, so you will be get authenticated. So it has been shown, everything is step by step, so you just need to follow these steps and you will be able to integrate your app. I'm just going to use a JSON bin URL right now, like setup authentication. So I'm just going to use the basic auth, okay, and save it. And now I have to configure the field. So automatically it provides you two fields, username and password. If you want to put some other extra field, so you can put it over here, otherwise leave it as it is. So configure the test request. So you need to provide the API over here which can get the user data for get authenticated. So I'm just going to put the have created over here, API over here. So it will send the status true and 200 response. So Zapier will know about that, like this user has been authenticated. So we're gonna test it as well. So let's save it and test your authentication. And if I will like test it, okay, sorry, I need to set it up first. Sign into test authentication. So I just need to sign it up, and you can see over here two options are coming. So I will just randomly type anything, it doesn't matter right now because it's a static way, and it will make it continue and it will make you authenticated. So you can see the request is now I will try it again, test authentication. So you can see request got successful and it's showing me a status true, which means our authentication has been done and authentication API is working fine. So save and finish it, and let's move to the triggers part. So for the triggers, what you need to do after authentication, if you user have done something, like user have added something or perform any kind of correct functionality, and you want to see that what the new thing has been updated into your database, so that API you need to provide, which will fetch the data and it checks like there's something is updated into that response or not. So Zapier clones every response and check every time like it's matching with the last response or not. If there's something change and unique ID is coming, so what it does, it just trigger your node and it will perform the action on the basis of that. So let's just me show you. If I will add a trigger over here, okay, so key required, so I just need to put it key, I'll put new ticket. So I'm just going to follow the same new ticket, I won't change anything. new ticket. Okay, and ticket. You can put anything, whatever you want to put over here. So, and you need to put the description. So just copy it and paste it over here. And then continue. Okay, now you have to put the input field. If you want to take any inputs from here, so you can take it, otherwise leave it as it is, and just put the API URL which will fetch the data for you. So what you need to do, I have made another API over here, so this one. So whenever I will update it, any data over here, so this data will update it into this API, and whenever we will run our automation, or whenever the Zapier will fetch that API, it will automatically get the data has been updated or not, and according to that data, it will trigger your node. Okay, so it will decide to that it has to trigger the node or not. So that depends on Zapier. So just leave it as it is, save API request and continue. And make sure that whatever the response is coming, it should be into the array, not the object, because Zapier check the response in the format of array, and if the result is array, then it will check the unique data is coming or not. So whether if you are having the object, so you can also add it into the code, like you will get the result and you can pass some other, you can destructure the data over here and you can pass the result over here. Otherwise leave it as it is if you are getting the response from the API into the form of array. Okay, save an API and request and test your API request now. So I'm just going to test it and you will see the response over here. So you can see I'm getting the array over here, which means it's successful. Okay, so we have added our trigger as well. So just finish it. Okay, now define your output, which means you have to define the output response. What would be whatever the data you will add, what would be the data structure of that. So you just need to click on this and it will automatically fetch that data response. Okay, now save output and finish. Okay, so now our trigger also has been created. Now let's go and create a zap. Okay, so let's see we are getting that integration into the Zapier search or not. So I'm just going to test 1.2. Okay, so you can see I'm getting this test 1.2. So I just need to choose an event. Okay, so new ticket. Okay, and I need to make it continue. Okay, choose an account which you want to integrate. So I just make it default, so I don't need to sign in because I have already signed in. Test trigger. Okay, so yeah, continue, and you can see the node is created because it has been tested, like trigger has been tested. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to send an email to my personal email account. Okay, so I will just choose an event, send an email. Okay, and I will and also I'm just going to choose an account, which account will send me an email. Continue. The last, everything is a process like last video. Whatever I did into the last video, same thing I'm going to repeat it over here. And if you haven't watched that last video, please leave watch that, and you will also, you can see into the suggestions as well. So I'm just going to write my email ID over here and leave it as it is. Everything leave it as it is. From you will get the option from. Okay, and from name, let's see. Okay, and give it as it is. Subject from Zapier. Hi. Okay, and just put the body. Hi, Abhishek. Okay, and now save it. I hope it's been completed. So now save it and test and continue. Okay, so test got successful, and turn on the Zap. So also I have received the email right now into my mobile, so I'll show you in a couple of minutes into my email inbox as well. So back to go to my Zap. Okay, so recently I created this Zap, so you can see over here with the test 1.2 to Gmail, with the tester 1.2 to Gmail. Okay, so I'm just going to run it. So first, what I need to do, if I have to trigger that API, that Zapier. So first I need to update the data into this. So I'm just going to create one another object over here. Okay. So I will do ID equals to 6. Okay. And now comma name equals to, yeah, that's it. Okay. Now save it. So you can see the data has been saved. Let's check this out. Data is updated or not. And you can see data updated. And now let's run that chat. Okay. So let's check this out. Run it. Looking for new item. Okay. So you can see now I got one email because I have updated data into this, and you can see our data is coming over here. So I have received one email from the Zapier. So it takes time to send you the email because it has a scheduled time. Okay. So for testing purpose, I just shown you and how it works, the Zapier integration, and you can also integrate here. There are several options into the API key. You need to provide the API key and API authentication key, and after that you need to put it continue, and everything is written over here into the documentation. You can prefer to use this. So I hope you guys understood about the Zapier. If you have any issue, and feel free to ask me, and you can comment down below if you have any question and any query about the Zapier integration. It's very easy and very useful to use Zapier. Thank you so much guys. Thank you for watching. I'll meet you in the next video.